Mitzvah בשמחתם רואים מצווה גדולה להיות בשמחה בשמחתם ברבנו אוי רבנו שולם אוי מצווה גדולה להיות בשמחה להיות להיות בשמחה, להיות בשמחה, בשמחתם אמן. Toilet should gather around his amen.
You think it's a good time? What?
Introduce, like what? A minute, like what? Just sitting here with the oil and to be specific.
A good tzvach, everybody. First of all, welcome to Kahal Mavakshei Hashem's pre-Slichos Farbrengen. One of Bez Hashem, many more to come than coming years, Bez Hashem. I want to thank all the sponsors again. I don't have the list of them in front of me, but all the sponsors. Yeah, so you have a list? You want to read it?
Yeah, I'm saying one second. I gotta find it. Slow down. I should say it. Ari Hurt, Ezra Barron, Mr. and Mrs. Mark Reisman, Mr. Mati Steig, Mr. and Mrs. Shalom Orbach Shlita, Dr. and Mrs. Reuben Brescher, Shkayach, Mr. and Mrs. Shalom Lesker, Shkayach, and everybody else, thank you.
All right, L'chaim, Shkayach. All the sponsors, it should be a big schus for them, for the whole mishpacha. They should be written in Sefer Shal Tzadikim, L'chaim Tov, Maruchim, L'shalom.
Amen.
I said just for mamash a minute, because Bez Hashem a little bit later on, I'll speak a little bit more about Slichos and what exactly it is that we're trying to accomplish Slichos night. But just a minute right now, just to think about what the avodah of Matzah Shabbos is b'chlal. What's the avodah of Matzah Shabbos? What are we supposed to be working on, thinking about as the nigunim are being played with, Hislavos and Osiris? What are we supposed to be thinking? So, in a certain sense, every Matzah Shabbos is a v'china. It's a little bit of a taste of Rosh Hashanah. Because we know that the Rabbanu Shalom created the world once upon a time, but He's also renewing the world. And so in a certain sense, every week, when you move from Shabbos into the 6 days of the week, there's a renewal of creation. We're now entering into the first day of creation, Yom Rishon. And so if you think about it, every Rosh Hashanah and every Matzah Shabbos is a taste of this. What was before creation? What was before creation was just the Rabbanu Shalom, was all there was God. And therefore, in a certain sense, if you think about it, the greatest day of Hester Panim, the greatest day of the Rabbanu Shalom's concealment was Rosh Hashanah. Because that's when the world moved from just being the Rabbanu Shalom to the Rabbanu Shalom being covered with so many levushim of nature, of teva. And so every Rosh Hashanah, it's Bekesel Yom Chagenu. It's a yontif that's hidden. It's a yontif that's celebrating the Rabbanu Shalom hiding himself in a sense. And so what's the avodah of Matzah Shabbos? What's the avodah at that moment when the Rabbanu Shalom puts on all these layers? The avodah of that moment is to take all those layers and to return it back to the Rabbanu Shalom. That's our avodah. Our avodah of Matzah Shabbos, the avodah of Matzah Shabbos is to try to be mechazik our emunah bitachon, that just as it was before creation, all there was God. The same thing is true post-creation. Although it looks like there's all sorts of conflicting situations in life. There's all sorts of conflicting powers of nature, and there's ups and downs in life. There's all sorts of levushim. There's good days and bad days, good moments and bad moments. We have to be mechazik our emunah. The avodah Matzah Shabbos is to take all those levushim and to remember and to recognize that they're simply just levushim. But beneath those levushim, contained within those levushim, is the same Orein Soif. Atahu ad shlei nivra olam. Atahu misha nivra olam. You're the same God that was before creation. You're the same God as it is after creation. That's the avodah of Matzah Shabbos. That even with all the Hester Panim that's going to be put on us during the 6 days of the week, Matzah Shabbos, we try to take all that Hester Panim and mechazik ourselves and connect it back to the source of all things. That's the avodah of Matzah Shabbos. Every niggin that we sing is trying to be mamtik, trying to sweeten those dinim, to give us the koyach to be able to see through those levushim, and to be able to connect even during the 6 days of the week to the noyam, to the pleasantness, the sweetness, the tranquility of Shabbos, where all there is one. And even though we're plunged into a world of riboy, of pirud, of divisiveness, of division, of complexity, the avodah of Matzah Shabbos is to take that complexity and to realize that all that complexity ultimately comes from one singularity. That's the Ravana Shalom. And that's our avodah, to prepare ourselves for the 6 days of the week. So Hashem should help that we should be zaycha to be able to see Him through all that complexity, and to be able to realize that everything that we experience in life during the 6 days of the week are simply just levushim covering up the one simple truth, which is Ani Hashem. That's all there is. When we're mechazik ourselves with that avodah, there's no question the Ravana Shalom will ultimately repay us with taking off the levushim and revealing the truth of all truths, both that all there was Him, and all there is us.
Da 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 da
Shalom imenu ma'onelo shalom Chilo loke Yachalev v'pono No yo Shalom imenu ma'onelo shalom Asher bikala Ashira ozo Abiyarinada Isbiyat bifala Asher bikala Ashira ozo Abiyarinada Shalom imenu Mavanelo Oy khilo loke Yachalev lefano Oy 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 Shalom imenu Mavanelo Asher bikala Ashir Auda Abiyad enana Biyad mechala Asher bikala Ashir Auda Abiyad enana Biyad mechala Shkoyach to all the Yidden who came out and the Heilige Rebbe. Bershus, the Heilige Rebbe. Yemaskim Rebbe. How are you, Yidden? So I heard this over Shabbos, it was Gaval. It's going to, then Bershus, the Heilige Rebbe Aryeh over here. So there was this Yid, he got in trouble with the government. He was messing around. He got in trouble with the government, but really he was framed. It wasn't his fault. Somebody else was supposed to get in trouble, but they took him and they said they're going to put him away. So this Yid, he didn't know what to do. So what do you do when you're in trouble, when you're a Yid? You daven. You go to the Rebbe. So he went to his Rebbe, and his Rebbe said, I have a Yeshua for you to get out of this. He said, go buy a first-class ticket on this and this train, and I want you to go to this and this city. So the Chusset said, and then what? He said, just go. What do you mean, and then what? You're coming to ask my advice? Take the ticket and go to that city. Chusset didn't know what to do. Okay, the Rebbe said. So he bought his first-class ticket, gets on the train, it's a long drive. He's walking up and down the aisles, and he sees another guy over there. So this guy is sitting there, he says, you know, you look like nervous about something. What's wrong? So he says, well, I'll tell you the truth. I'm on the way to a certain city. I got framed. Somebody said that it was my fault about something that I did. It's really not my fault. And now the government is getting me in trouble. And my rabbi told me to go to this in this city, and because I have complete faith in the rabbi, I'm listening. So this guy's like, oh, cool story. End the conversation, gets to the city, walks around for a little bit, comes back, goes to the Rebbe. He said, I went to the city, nothing happened. The Rebbe said, you asked for my advice? Yes or no? Leave me alone. You did what I said, don't worry. Next day he comes to court. Who's the judge? That guy who was sitting on the train. And he realized that the reason why he got out of this court case is because he had time to talk to the judge before the court case and explain himself. We're sitting here Slichos. Maybe the pshat is that we have a little time to talk to the judge before the court case. Such a simcha. We could even Farbrengen over it. While we're nervous, we can Farbrengen. I'm asking Rebbe.
I'm
Okay, once the Olam is standing tazam, we have to sing one niggin. The Olam's standing around.
וגם טבע ובאסה ולבחו ישים לסוב ובולך ופנה לילבו וגם טבע ולבחו ישים סוף העולם. Everybody together. I call לי שמה
If everyone could please find a seat.
Yeah, sure. Speaking to the mic? Yeah? Just talk regular. So why don't you put it, position it where it should be? I'm saying, like, if you can. Yeah. Mamish, yeah. Good talk, everybody. Now for the boring part of the of the tonight. You know, Rav Kook wrote an essay called Hadar, talking about the generation, the strengths and weaknesses of the generation. You know, Rav Kook, he wrote that at the turn of the 20th century, but it's very relevant today as well. Rav Kook said that the issue of our generation is not an issue of the heart. It's not a chesaron of the Yetzer Hara. It's not because we have a bigger Yetzer Hara than previous generations. Our issue is an issue of the mind. We haven't been educated properly. We simply haven't been educated properly. Slichos is one of those aspects of Yiddishkeit where I'm not blaming anyone, there's no one's particular fault, but it's one of those aspects of Yiddishkeit that we truly haven't been educated properly in terms of what is Slichos. Like, what are we trying to do in 20 minutes from now? What is trying to be accomplished? All right, so let me try to explain to you a little bit of what's going on Slichos night in Pnimiyos, and then hopefully that'll, Bez Hashem, help us be inspired to do Slichos properly. You know, there's a principle in the Sefer Yitzir, there's a principle in Pnimiyos HaTorah that every single time has a corresponding place. Every single moment of the calendar has a corresponding place in the physical world. And so there's a time that's called Rosh Hashanah. And what is the place that corresponds to that point in time that's called Rosh Hashanah? So the Sforim HaKadoshim tell us that the place that is Rosh Hashanah is the Beis HaMikdash. So we know Rosh Hashanah is the beginning of what's called the Yom Naroyim. Yaakov Avinu, when he came to the Beis HaMikdash, he said, "Ma noira hamakam hazeh." The time in the calendar is Rosh Hashanah is a time of noira, and the Beis HaMikdash in place is a place of noira. That's why it's brought down, in fact, that the word Rosh Hashanah equals B'gematria, Beis HaMikdash. It's also why in the storm it's brought down that there's no mitzvah to be oila regel on Rosh Hashanah. Pesach, Shavuos, and Sukkot is a mitzvah to go to the Beis HaMikdash. Why is there no mitzvah to go to the Beis HaMikdash in Rosh Hashanah? Well, the answer is because wherever you are in the Beis HaMikdash. Rosh Hashanah is in time, but the Beis HaMikdash is in space. See, here's the question. The Torah tells us that one of the halachas of being oila regel, of coming to the Beis HaMikdash, which is what happens every Rosh Hashanah in time, is lo yiru panai reikam, that we're not allowed to come to the Beis HaMikdash empty-handed. We have to come with a carbon, with some matana, some gift to the Rebbeinu Shalom. And so the question is, what are we giving as a gift to the Rebbeinu Shalom on Rosh Hashanah? If anything, in a few minutes from now, we're going to say in Slichos, Kedalim u'karashim defakne dolasecha, that we bang on your door of the Beis HaMikdash in time, the Rosh Hashanah, and we come literally empty-handed, Kedalim u'karashim, like impoverished poor people. So the question is, how are we not violating the Yisr of lo yiru panai reikam? You know, when it comes to Slichos, it's interesting. If I were to ask the average Jew out there, what is Slichos? What are we talking about? What is Slichos? So Mastama, the answer would be, Slichos is, we're being mispal, we're davening to the Rebbeinu Shalom that he should forgive our affairs, right? That's what Slichos is, that he should be Meichel v'Saleach, he should have Rachmanis and forgive us. So it's interesting, if that's what Slichos is really, then it would make sense to first do tshuva, and then ask the Rebbeinu Shalom to accept our tshuva, no? But it's interesting, if you look at the order of Slichos, which we're going to do, Bez Hashem, very soon, the vidui, which is Hashem Nebaganu, that is tshuva, that's the process of tshuva, to be mazvada. We should do that right away, that's tshuva. And then you ask the Rebbeinu Shalom to accept our tshuva with Yud Gimel Yisrachamim v'chulu. But it's a pella. The truth is that Hashem Baganu, the actual tshuva, is saved for the end of Slichos. So then what are we davening for? What right are we asking Hashem to forgive our averos if we haven't done tshuva yet? So why don't we say vidu in the beginning? So the truth is, if you think about it, this itself is a mystery, because Chazal tell us in describing what Slichos is, Chazal say famously that after the Chet of the Egel, so the Rebbeinu Shalom showed Moshe Rabbeinu Milame Shenisatef HaKadosh Baruch Hu Kishatz. That the Rebbeinu Shalom put on a talus like a chazan. V'omar, and he said to Moshe Rabbeinu B'shah Shabnei Yisrael Chaitim, when Klal Yisrael fall into Averis, Yasu Lefana Kiseder Hazeh, let them perform this service of Slichos, of Yud Gimel Yisrachamim, V'ani Moichelem, and that alone I will forgive them. So this is also strange. I thought tshuva is what you need to have forgiveness. If you did tshuva, then what do you need Yud Gimel Yisrachamim for? And it sounds like Yud Gimel Yisrachamim alone is enough to give us a kaparsa. What do you need tshuva for? How do we bring together? What is the avodah of Slichos? What's happening by Slichos? All right, so let me explain. Rosh Hashanah in time, as I said, Rosh Hashanah is the Beis HaMikdash. Rosh Hashanah is Malchus. The Rebbeinu Shalom reveals himself as a melech to us on Rosh Hashanah, as a manhig, a person, a leader, one that gives us eitzes, one that gives us hadracha. So what is Slichos then? What's happening tonight, what the avodah of tonight is to lay the foundation for the Beis HaMikdash. The Beis HaMikdash will be built on Rosh Hashanah. The avodah of tonight is to build the foundation for Hashem's Malchus. The foundation for that Malchus. Just as David HaMelech built a foundation for the Beis HaMikdash, and on top of that Shlomo builds the bayis itself. Slichos, the avodah of tonight, is to build the Yisai, to build the foundation of what then will be built upon that Malchus Shemayim. So let's investigate for a minute, what is the foundation of the Rebbeinu Shalom's Malchus? What is it resting on? It's crucial. That's crucial. If one does not build a proper foundation, then the palace of the Rebbeinu Shalom cannot last. So what is the foundation upon which Malchus Shemayim is built? Says the Gemara in Chagiga. I know it's late, and I'm throwing Ma'amar Kaimis at you, I know, but just trust me. There's a Gemara in Chagiga. The Gemara in Chagiga is talking about certain topics that one is not allowed to speak about Barabim. I know what I'm doing right now. It's Hirosha, it's Pekuach Nefesh already at this point. Ikvus to Mashiach, we have to talk about things that in previous generations were off limits. The Gemara in Chagiga, Daf Tazayin, Amud Aleph tells us the following thing. It's talking about what is the foundation of the Rebbeinu Shalom's Malchus. On a bigger picture, the entire Bria, the entire universe is the Rebbeinu Shalom's Malchus. And so what's the foundation of the world? And that's Slichos. Says the Gemara, Rabbi Yochanan and Rabbi Elazar D'Amri Tarvayi. Rabbi Yochanan and Rabbi Elazar both explained what is the foundation upon which Malchus Shemayim is built. They explained it with a mashal. Mashal melech b'asav adam she'amar la'avodav. It's compared to a king who said to his servants, Benu li paltrin gedailim. I want you to build me a magnificent palace, and this is a palace I'm going to dwell in. I'm going to reveal myself through this palace. You're going to have a shaykhus to me. It's going to be unbelievable. Where should you build it? Al ha'ashpa. You should go find the biggest garbage dump, and I want you to build the palace on that garbage dump. Halchu ubanulai. So they did. They didn't understand, but they go and they build the Rebbeinu Shalom, they build the king's palace on this garbage dump. But then the builders made a pact among themselves, Ein ritzonei shel melech lahazkir shem ashpa, that we're going to keep this as a secret. The fact that the paltrin shel melech, the fact that the king's palace is built on ashpa, for whatever reason, we don't understand, but for whatever reason, the king wanted to do that, but for us to publicize it, that we're not going to do. So this was kept secret. But the Gemara is telling us is a mysterious thing, that somehow the Malchus of the Rebbeinu Shalom, the Malchus of the Rebbeinu Shalom is not built on pleasant ground. It's davka built on a garbage dump, on a garbage heap, on a makam ashpa. What does that mean? So this is the type of topic which is bemis off limits. So I'm just going to kemetzes menacharakim just to talk a little bit. It says in Pasuk Bereshis Bar Elokim es hashamayim v'ha'aretz, the Rebbeinu Shalom created the universe. He built his palace. V'ha'aretz ha'isa soyhu v'avayu v'chayshach al pnei sahaim. Before the Rebbeinu Shalom said, "Let there be light," and everything got started in a proper way, first there was a matziv, there was a reality that's called toyu v'avayu. What does toyu v'avayu mean? So we tend to think toyu v'avayu means there's nothing. There's nothing. That's not true. What is tohu v'voyu? What is chaos? The Somar Gdosh and the Mukubalim have revealed to us that chaos is the foundation upon which the world is built. That was the Yisai, that's the foundation, that's the garbage dump on top of which the Malchus Shamayim is built. What does that mean? So let me share with you a couple lines from the Baal HaLeshem. One of the great Mikubalim of recent times, the Baal HaLeshem writes the following thing. When the first thing the Rabbeinu Shalom created, it's going to sound a little bit strange, but the first thing the Rabbeinu Shalom created was everything that would ever be in a state of absolute chaos. Said the Leshem, Hina Yatza'az, at the very first moment of creation, the foundation upon which the Bria is built is everything that will be in creation in a state of absolute craziness and chaos, Wildkeit, mamish crazy. Hina Yatza'az Hashiroshim Harishayim Dekolam Etzias Kulam. The very first moment of creation was what? Was when the Rabbanan Shalom created everything, every leaf, every atom, every person, every animal, every experience, everything that would ever be from the beginning of time till the end of time, it was all first created in a state of tohu v'voyu. Every single person, every single aspect of our personality that would ever come to be, that would ever be manifest, was first created in a state of absolute chaos. What does that mean? What does it mean, chaos? Chaos means when you have, for example, let's say you have a room of 100 people and there's only one door out and everyone at once decides to just try to get out of the room. It's chaos. Everyone is running in a different direction. There's no cohesiveness. There's no achdus. There's no unity. It's pandemonium. The Rebbeinu Shalom created the human being in such a way that the first emergence of who we were was who we are in a state of absolute chaos, which means every single bit of our koiches, every single bit of our energy was running like a wild person, like a wild animal, trying to escape, trying to manifest, trying to explode outward. This is the nature of the Yetzer Hara. Let's understand, what's the essential nature of the Yetzer Hara versus the nature of the Yetzer Tov? You know what it is? It's like two little kids in a classroom. One is a Wildechai, the one kid can't sit still, he's bouncing off the walls. That's the nature of the Yetzer Hara. The nature of the Yetzer Hara is that every single part of your personality, whether it be lust or covet, whatever it is that's part of your personality, it's exploding outward. It cannot sit still. That's the nature of the Yetzer Hara. What's the nature of the Yetzer Tov? To be calm and gentle and to sit quietly and to have this finger on the place. That's the nature of the Yetzer Tov. The Mekubalim explained that the Tachlis Habriya was, the Rebbeinu Shalom doesn't just want there to be human beings that obey orders. The Rebbeinu Shalom wants human beings that are full of chayim, that are full of vigor, full of excitement, full of energy, and full of life. When we daven for Rosh Hashanah, Zacheinu l'chaim, the Rebbeinu Shalom should give us life. What does that mean? We should just have a pulse. It means we're davening that the Rebbeinu Shalom should give us a year full of chiyas, full of energy. But the way the Rebbeinu Shalom created is that what allows the energy to explode outward is naturally in the hands of the Yetzer Hara. It's the Yetzer Hara that has the koyach to explode one's potential outward. When a person gives one's life, Rahman al-Islan, over into the hands of the Yetzer Hara, that's when all of one's koyachs emerge in a violent, crazy, chaotic way. But that's when you know who you really are. That's when you know what you have inside of you. If a person's life is completely governed from beginning to end with the Yetzer Tov, then the person's just very calm and placid and just kind of numb to life. What the Rebbeinu Shalom therefore wanted is that since the ultimate purpose of creation is for each and every one of us to serve the Rebbeinu Shalom with chiyas, with passion, with excitement, like animals, chayas hakodesh. Because the Rebbeinu Shalom wanted that, so what he had to do, kiviyachal, Rebbeinu Shalom's kiviyachal, his hands were tied. What the Rebbeinu Shalom therefore did was that he first created all things, every single one of us, in a state of absolute chaos, where every single one of our koiches was running wild and wilde chaya. And said the Leshem, that first foundation upon which the world was created, that state of chaos, Ma'aseh Na'asu was, every single one of us in that original state, was kulam bebechinas dinim. It was all difficult and terrible, pirud, divisiveness. Kol echad yotzem behester panim mamish. Each and every one of us was created initially, our first version, the first version of who we are, was mamish ashpa. Mamish, a garbage dump. And only on top of that foundation, which was each and every one of us running wild like a wilde chaya, exploding outward, all of our koiches completely given over into the hands of the Yetzer Hara. It's specifically on top of that, the Rebbeinu Shalom says, now you know what you have inside of you. Now you know your potential. You know what type of energy you have. Now ye are. Now come and let me give you some hadracha, some guidance, how to guide that animal, how to guide those koiches to the top of the mountain. The Baal Tanya used to say, emotionally, he said, if a person wants to climb to a certain mountain, that's his goal, to get to the top of the mountain. The human being with their own two legs cannot get there. It's too difficult. But the human being has an intellect. The human being knows how to get there intellectually. He knows the map. And then you have next to him, you have this wild horse. The koiches of the horse can get up the mountain in 10 minutes, no problem at all. But it's a horse. It doesn't know what it's doing. So what does the human being have to do? The human being has to ride that horse, has to tame that horse, use the koiches of that horse to get to the top of the mountain. So therefore, the foundation of the Rebbeinu Shalom's Malchus, the foundation of the Rebbeinu Shalom's Malchus is every single one of us in a state of absolute chaos. Every single one of our mistakes this past year, every single moment the Yetzer Hara got the best of us, although it's terrible and it's destructive and we have to do tshuva and we have to repair the act itself. But once you peel away the layers, once you purify yourself and heal yourself from that wound that's called the actual sin, what you're left with at the end is something beautiful. Because now you know what type of koiches you have. If a person wants to come to Rosh Hashanah to build Malchus Shemayim, I mentioned in the beginning, so what's our matana? What are we giving the Rebbeinu Shalom on Rosh Hashanah? We're coming empty-handed, and the answer is no. We're coming with our Yetzer Hara. That's what we're coming with in Rosh Hashanah. That's the matana that we're giving the Rebbeinu Shalom, the ashpa, the garbage dump of this past year. That's what we're giving the Rebbeinu Shalom. And we're saying to the Rebbeinu Shalom, we're going to do tshuva to repair the particular actions of how that Yetzer Hara manifested, of where that energy took us. But the energy itself, that's a gift. That is the energy the Rebbeinu Shalom wants us to harness for Avodas Hashem. That's what Slichos is. See, the difference between the regular process of tshuva, Hashem Baganu, and Slichos, what's the difference? Hashem Baganu, the process of tshuva, is what is repairing the particular act. It's making as if the Avera, the act of the Avera is gone. Because we have to get rid of those acts. But you know what Slichos is? The Rachmanis that we're trying to awaken with the Yudgim is Rachamim. Like Rav Nachman talks about, Ki Merachamam Yinahagim. The Rachmanis that we're trying to be more is that the Rebbeinu Shalom shall have Rachmanis on us and give us the ability to guide ourselves towards Him. With what? With all of the koiches that have been unleashed with the Averas. This is the matana that we give the Rebbeinu Shalom on Slichos. Therefore, the avoid of Slichos night, and this carries through the entire Yom Neroyim, is to daven with koiches, all that energy that we know we have inside of us, v'arai, all the mistakes that we've made this past year, to bring the animal to avoida, to become a chayes hakodesh. That's the avoid of Slichos. And the bigger the animal, the bigger the mistakes, the more koiches that have been unleashed, the bigger the garbage dump, the more there's an ability to build paltern shel melech on top of it. Because the Rebbeinu Shalom's palace does not hover in air. The Rebbeinu Shalom's palace is built from the garbage, from the ashes of the Yetzer Hara, davka, from toyu v'avoyu, from who we were in a state of chaos, all the koiches that were unleashed in that state of chaos. That's davka what the Rebbeinu Shalom then builds his malchus with. This is what we offer the Rebbeinu Shalom on Rosh Hashanah. This is what we're offering him now. The reason why Mashiach hasn't come yet, the reason why we're still in Golus is because there has yet to be a generation that has embraced toyu v'avoyu. The first generation that's going to embrace toyu v'avoyu, that's going to embrace the animal within, and to recognize that it's not something to be ashamed of. It's something to be harnessed. It's something to be directed towards the top of the mountain. It's that generation that's going to see the face of Mashiach. Because the binyan of the Malchus of Shemayim, the Beis HaMikdash itself, cannot be built unless it's through Ashpa. And the way of tshuva of all previous generations has been a way of trying to avoid the Yetzer Hara, of running away, of being embarrassed from that energy. And because of that, there hasn't been Mashiach yet. Only the generation that's going to embrace the ashpa, that's going to come to the Rebbeinu Shalom with hands full of garbage. It's only that generation that's going to be zeicha to build from those garbage dumps, the binyan bayis hashlishi. Let me end off with a quick maisa. I know it's late, but whatever. It's past everyone's bedtime anyway, right? So, and the quick maisa. One of the most mysterious Talmidim of the Baal Tanya was Rav Shmuel Munkes. There's many strange stories with him. So one mice is like this. Rav Shmuel, when he first wanted to become a chassid of the Baal Tanya, so he heard about the Baal Tanya, he wanted to be a follower of his, but he never actually met him. Didn't really know what he looked like either. Didn't know where he lived. But he knew the Baal Tanya lived in his city. So he traveled to the town of the Baal Tanya. It was late at night, 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning. So he has to find the Baal Tanya's house. So he's walking down the streets and he figures out which is the Baal Tanya's house. And he knocks on the door. The Baal Tanya himself answers the door. And Rav Shmuel says, Rebbe, I'm here to be a chassid. So the Rebbe says to him, how do you know that I'm the Rebbe? So he said, because you're the only house that's lit up at 3 in the morning. So I know that you're the tzaddik. So the Baal Tanya looks at him and the Baal Tanya says, I don't think this place is for you. He's about to close the door. Rav Shmuel said, no, I want to be here. I want to be a follower. I want to be a chassid. Turn me into a tzaddik. Baal Tanya says, I'm telling you this is not for you. He begins to close the door. Rav Shmuel said, please, I'm begging you. I need to be a follower. Baal Tanya said, this is not a place for you. And if you don't leave, I'm going to get the guy to kick you out. So Rav Shmuel Munkes began to cry. And Rav Shmuel Munkes said, Rabbi, my guy is stronger than your guy. My guy is stronger than your guy. The Baal Tanya said, if that case, then you could come in. So Hezbollah that Maisa. Baal Tanya asked him, how do you know that I'm the tzaddik? How do you know? So he said, because your house is lit up. You know what that meant? What it means is Rav Shmuel Munkes was telling the tzaddik, you know what it means to be a tzaddik? It means that it's all light. There's no chayshech at all by the tzaddik. It's all good. It's all toiv moi. There's no garbage at all. It's all light. Baal Tanya said, if that's what you think a tzaddik is, this is not for you. That's not what a tzaddik is. Rav Shmuel said, no, I want to stay. I want to stay. Until finally Baal Tanya said, if you're not going to leave, then my guy is going to kick you out. Rav Shmuel said, my guy is stronger than your guy, and that's why I need you, Rebbe. And that's why I have the potential to be such a tzaddik, is because I have such a big guy inside of me. To the extent that a person has ashpa, to the extent that a person has a yetzer hara, to that extent you could be a kli kibul to build the bayis hashlishi mamish. And therefore it's davka going to be the generation that accepts that task. It's davka going to be a generation that davens slichos with his slavos. It's davka a generation that puts all their koiches into Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur to the point that if they pass out, they'll just their neighbor will revive them and they continue screaming. It's davka that generation that's going to be able to build the bayis hashlishi to see finally Pnei Mashiach Tzidkenu. It's davka a person that accepts and understands how big their guy is. It's davka that person that could become a tzaddik b'emes, because a tzaddik is not built on just light. A tzaddik is, the light of the tzaddik is built from darkness. So Rabban Shalom should help. That as we come into Slichos and we say to Rabban Shalom, Kidal, Mekarashim, Defakim, L'Sech, it's Takashu, we have no mitzvah, but you know what we do have? We have a lot of Averis. A lot of Averis. And with that itself, that's how we have entrance. So Hashem should help each and every one of us. We should be Zaycha to be written and sealed B'Sifin Tzaddik and Mamish. In the schus that we come here, Kechayis HaKadosh, the Rebbeinu Shem should help. We should be Zaycha, each one of us build up Malchus Shemayim and be able to be that generation that finally sees Ayin by Nir B'Shavah Shem Letzion Rabbi Eskol Tzedek Meher V'Meinu Amen.
Give me an E minor,
Sorry about that.
Give me a second, guys. Why are you over there? I think I'll handle that.
It's never too late to correct your mistake, 'cause we know ain't shum yehush ba'olam kol. cause we know ain't Shom Yeo Yisheva Yipol Yipol Tzadik Tzadik Lekol Oh yo yo Yisheva Yipol Yipol Tzadik Tzadik Lekol Oh yo yo Hallelujah, Shalom.